In this video, we are going to go over factoring a trinomial in the form of x squared plus bx plus c. Let's do a quick FOIL review. If I were to give you the term x plus 5 times x plus 6, you do first, outside, inside, and then last. We're going to have x times x plus x times 6 plus 5 times x plus 5 times 6. This will give us x squared plus 6x plus 5x plus 30, which in the end gives us x squared plus, adding the like terms, 11x plus 30. Looking at this, you can see that this term 11x is 6x plus 5x, and this term 30 is 5 times 6. So to get the 11x, you add a 6x and a 5x, and to get to a 30, you multiply a 5 and 6. So for the inner term b, you're adding, and for the last term c, you're multiplying the 5 and the 6. The overall form for this would be if you have x plus m and x plus n, your final answer will be x squared plus m plus n times x plus m times n. In our case, it was the 5 plus 6 and the 5 times 6. X squared plus bx plus c, where b equals m plus n and c equals m times n. Remembering the form, let's factor a few polynomials. Let's say that I give you x squared plus 7x plus 12. Remember, to get the 12, we're multiplying the two terms. To get the 7, we're adding the two terms. So we have to find two numbers that multiply to give us 12 and add to give us 7. Let's start with the factors of 12. The numbers that multiply to give us 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. We know that 1 plus 12 does not give us 7, 2 plus 6 does not give us 7, but 3 and 4 give us 7. So this becomes x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 3 times 4, which can be written as x plus 3 times x plus 4. X plus 3 times x plus 4 is the factor form of x squared plus 7x plus 12. Say that I give you x squared plus negative 9x plus 14. Again, we're looking for numbers that multiply to give us a positive 14 and add to give us a negative 9. Writing the factors of 14, we're going to have 1 and 14 and 2 and 7. This 9 is negative, so the numbers have to add to be something negative, but they have to multiply to be something positive. The only way to get numbers that add to give you a negative number and multiply to give you a positive number would be adding two negative numbers and multiplying two negative numbers, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So now looking at the factors, we have a -1 and a -14. Those do not add to be -9. -2 plus a -7 does. So we can rewrite this as x minus or plus a -2 times x plus a -7 or -7. Say that in the beginning I said that this equation equaled 0. Remembering the zero product property, that means that this first term equals 0 or the second term equals 0. So x plus -2 equals 0 or x plus -7 equals 0. Solving those, you would get that x equals a +2 or x equals a +7 to solve those solutions. So x plus -2 times x plus -7 is the factored form of our original polynomial. If our polynomial was set to 0, 2 and 7 are solutions that are part of the solution set. X squared plus 3x plus a -10. Now we are looking for numbers that add to give you a positive and multiply to give you a negative. Writing the factors of 10, we have 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. In order to get a -10, one or the other is negative, but not both of them. So if we had a -1, -1 plus 10 would be a +9. If we had a -10, 1 plus -10 would be a -9. So neither of those would add up to be 3. If we had a +2 and a -5, we would get -3. If we had a -2 and a +5 and added those together, we would get a +3. And that's what we're looking for. So our two numbers are going to be -2 for m and 5 for n. So x plus a -2 or -2 times x plus 5 is the factored form of this polynomial. Again, let's say that we set that polynomial to be 0 though. That means that x plus -2 equals 0 or x plus 5 equals 0. That means that x equals a +2 or x equals a -5. And those would be the solutions if this polynomial was set to 0.